we're in a situation.
He knew these questions were coming.
Particularly,
he knew the questions were coming. They gave me a list. So these were pre-approved questions. So he's not even openly taking questions. These are protected media people that are going to give him softball questions that he can prepare for. And now he's giving his answer, his pre-approved answer.
In fact, ISIS-K does not metastasize beyond what it is. Number one.
This is all pre-approved shit. This is unbelievable. They gave me a list.
By and large, and I've asked this same question to military on the ground, whether or not it's a useful exercise. No one trusts them. We're just counting on their self-interest.
Yeah, like right here. Here's a tweet that I just saw. Right here. Breaking. Biden is reading off of a list of pre-selected friendly reporters that he says he was instructed to read from. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
And, but there.
Who's the next person you've listed?
Associated Press.
He's. My God.
Thank you, Mr. President.
What?
You have spoken, again, powerfully about your own son and the weight of these decisions.
Powerfully.
With that
there
in
are
mind, and also
soldiers
said,
dead,
and
you're giving him pre-selected softball questions.
How do you weigh staying even one more?
Fuck the media. Fuck the media. This is absolutely a joke.
What we say we're going to do in the context in which we say we're going to do it, that we do it, unless something exceptional changes. There are additional American citizens. There are additional green card holders. There are additional personnel of our...
I can't even, like, all of this is prepared shit from his media friends, the same media that put him in this position. I can't even take this seriously. Here, I'm looking at more people saying stuff now. Biden says he was instructed to call on certain reporters. You're the commander-in-chief. What? So he can't even make up his own mind. He can't even decide who he wants to call on, because the people that are really pulling the strings, found the friendly media people, arranged whatever questions they were being allowed to ask, and then they gave him his answers so that he wasn't caught off guard. Absolutely embarrassing beyond belief. Are you kidding me right now?
That's what we should do. I think they're right. I think they're correct. And after that, we're going to be in a circumstance where will be, I believe, numerous opportunities to continue to provide access for additional persons to get out of Afghanistan, either through means that we provide and/or are provided through in cooperation with the Taliban.
He's reading his answers.
Not suggesting that at all. But they have keen interest. As many of you have been reporting, they very much would like to figure out how to keep the airport open. They don't have the capacity to do it. They very much are trying to figure out whether or not they can maintain what is the portion of an economy that has become not robust, but fundamentally different than it had been. And so there's a lot of reasons why they have reached out, not just to us, but to others, as to...
This is pathetic. softball questions from pathetic media members.
Okay, now there's not many left that we can assess.
Prearranged, pre-planned, already has the answers in front of him.
The vast majority of them, not all of them, who don't want to leave because they have significant.
Let's listen to this one more time. Let's listen to this. Here we go, right
They
here.
gave me a list here. The first person I was instructed to call on was Kelly O'Donnell of NBC.
What? The first person I was instructed to call on.
Provided the Taliban with names of Americans and Afghan officials to evacuate. Were you?
It is painful to listen to this, and I'm gonna do jump cuts all over the place to try to. This is painful. What's he saying now?
X number of people on it, made up of the following.
Like I don't think he knows what planet he's on. The ratio speaks for itself. This is the Washington Post, and it's being ratioed because most popular president in the history of the United States of America, but yet every time he shows up, he's getting ratioed on social media. I am truly astonished that he said this out loud, but I mean it just dementia Joe. What do you expect from him? He has no idea where he's at. He has no idea what's going on, and he's being instructed by other people.
Wait. Let me take the one question from the most interesting guy that I know in the press. That's you.
Mr. President, there had not been a U.S. service member killed in combat in Afghanistan since February of 2020. You set a deadline, you pulled troops out, you sent troops back in, and now 12 Marines are dead. You said the buck stops with you. Do you bear any responsibility for the way that things have unfolded in the last 2
a real
weeks?
question.
I bear responsibility for fundamentally all that's happened of late. But here's the deal. You know, I wish you'd one day say these things. You know as well as I do that the former president made a deal with the Taliban.
Trump's
To
fault.
get all American forces out of Afghanistan by May 1. In return, the commitment was made, and that was a year before. In return, he was given a commitment that the Taliban would continue to attack others, but would not attack any American forces. Remember that? I'm being serious. No, I'm asking you a question. Because before... No, wait a minute. I'm asking you a question. Is that accurate, the best of your knowledge? What?
I don't think it's the issue that, do you think that people have an issue with pulling out of Afghanistan or just the way that things have happened?
I think they have an issue that people are likely to get hurt. Some, as we've seen, have gotten killed, and that it is messy. The reason why, whether my friend will acknowledge it or has reported it, the reason why there were no attacks on Americans, as you said, from the date until I came into office, was because the commitment was made by President Trump, I will be out by May 1st. In the meantime, you agree not to attack any Americans. That was the deal. That's why no American was attacked.
It's called a peace deal.
A few days ago, you said you squarely stand by your decision to pull out.
Yes, I do, because look at it this way, folks, and I have another meeting for real. But imagine
What the hell is wrong with this
where
man?
we'd be if I had indicated on May the 1st I was not going to renegotiate an evacuation date. We were going to stay there. I'd have only one alternative: pour thousands of more troops back into Afghanistan to fight a war that we had already won relative to why the reason we went in the first place. I have never been of the view that we should be sacrificing American lives to try to establish a democratic government in Afghanistan, a country that has never once in its entire history been a united country and is made up I don't mean this in a derogatory, made up of different tribes who have never, ever, ever gotten along with one another. And so, as I said before, and this is the last comment I'll make, we'll have more chance to talk about this, unfortunately, beyond, because we're not out yet. If Osama bin Laden, as well as al-Qaeda, had chosen to launch an attack when they left Saudi Arabia out of Yemen, would we have ever gone to Afghanistan? Even though the Taliban completely controlled Afghanistan at the time, would we have ever gone? I know it's not fair to ask you questions, it's rhetorical, but raise your hand if you think we should have gone.
Are you kidding me?
And given up thousands of lives and tens of thousands of wounded. Our interest in going was to prevent al-Qaeda from reemerging, first to get bin Laden, wipe out al-Qaeda in Afghanistan, prevent that from happening again. As I've said 100 times, terrorism is metastasized around the world. We have greater threats coming out of other countries, a heck of a lot closer to the United States. We don't have military encampments there. We don't keep people there. We have over the horizon capability to keep them from going after us. Ladies and gentlemen, it was time to end a 20-year war. Thank you so much.
A somber president on a difficult day for Americans at home and
What
abroad.
a
I'm Rhonda Colvin. and
clown
you are-
show we are dealing with right now. I'm blown away by this. That's essentially what we're dealing with right there. That's a great image. As I said, Kamala Harris has canceled her appearance with Gavin Newsom. Right here, Senator Hawley has officially called for Biden to step down. Let's see what else Jack Posobiec is tweeting out right now. He hasn't tweeted in 44 minutes, so probably doing some research as we speak. But that whole situation with Biden and taking questions, exactly, Adam. Biden bumbling along and just asked reporters to raise their hand if they're against war. What? Yes, he did blame Trump. He did blame Trump. That was an absolute disaster. Unbelievable. But this is where we are. This is Joe Biden. This is who you wanted. Because Trump made mean tweets. Because Trump wasn't politically correct. Because Trump is an asshole. Yeah, he is. And he's our asshole. And he's the greatest president of my lifetime. Now we're with this. Now we're stuck with this disaster. And the person that is in line to take over for him is even worse. Unreal. You guys have a great day, and we'll talk to you later.